I wouldn't leave back that way. If you do, well, there's exactly 12 ways I could kill you without making a sound or a mess. Now, why don't you come over here so you can have a chat with the school nurse? Oh, did I say that? I suppose the school nurse has been in a better state. I fixed her, cured her. But I think you understand. I mean to cure you in a whole new way. You needn't fear me. Fear is impractical, a waste of effort. I think you're someone who understands the cure like me. Someone who needs to understand. Someone who wants to spread it like me. So why don't you just relax? I'd never do anything to hurt you. I think you deserve to know why I go so far to cure them. Why it's my conviction in this world to put down sick dogs and raise up the exemplary ones of society. It's incredible to me how much people misunderstand me. It's not some grandiose journey. It's not some magnanimous goal. It's so simple. It's a cure to an ailment. It's a fixing to a fault. I don't want people to be perfect, but I want to take away those nasty little things that keep them up at night. I want to give them an overhaul. Yes, it's in my name. But that's because it's my life's work to create perfection, to make those who are sick never have to be again. Do you want to know what it is I see? I see your future. And I see the sickness that would be. And I try and save you from it. But sometimes the cure ends up killing. I don't mean to pledge myself to the ending of such lives, but if you saw someone who was bound to suffer from a painful and horrible death that would lead them to agony, wouldn't you try and cure them for their own good, like a doctor who sees a plague, like a doctor trying to quell it? It's my goal to make them feel better. Unfortunately, my methods are still imperfect, so I must use my skills cautiously, or else others cease to function. But you're an exception. You're something special. You see, not long from now, maybe a year, maybe 5, you're going to get a problem in your brain. It was going to make you insane until you didn't have any sense of self anymore. And I thought it was too sad seeing you, someone who's a beautiful little wallflower, snug up like this, losing everything and becoming nothing more than a slave to the faults in your brain, to the sickness deep inside you. No, no, no. The doctor performed a surgery, and for one of the first times in a long time, there was a success. You still functioned. Maybe a little different. Maybe a little better or worse. But you're still you. You're still the beautiful person. Just without the plague. Now that you've survived, think of all the wonderful things you can do. Now you don't have to worry about the sickness in the future. I've dismantled it. You'll live a life that is happy and healthy. And I want you to thank your lucky stars and help others just like me. It may not be so easy for you, but you can aid in the cause. You can become someone next to me, near and dear to my heart. Quirks are malleable. Perhaps I can give you one with a little practice that can help people like mine. I think that's what you want, just like me. To be able to help someone in need. I could see it in your eyes. While the plague had gotten to you, you weren't fully gone like those selfish heroes. It gave me hope for you. That someday you could take my place, or at least be my assistant. What do you say? Of course, I'm not asking you to do this without some compensation. Not everyone has quite the eye for helping others, as I do. Instead, I'd ask that you accept humble compensation from my organization. You needn't worry about the details, because I would both protect you and ensure you're fairly rewarded. We're at the cusp of new technology, a new revolution. Those who can live without sickness in their body. You see, people may not understand it. My quirks allowed me to see it. For so long, I've watched so many loved ones. People I thought were strange, but that would get better. I believed in them to beat it. But they didn't. I watched them die. And I don't want others to have to watch the sorrow of withering away in a painful death. So I give them exactly what they need, even if they don't know it. I give them a swift solution. I try and rearrange the sickness and extract it. And it either results in a quick, perhaps less painful death than it would if I were to allow them to fester, to live their lives, awaiting that sickness to build up. It's true, really, how it festers inside of us. I had to extract my own, rearrange myself, and make sure everything could function at its best. Did you know one time tragedy turned to blessing? Someone cured themselves. They were oh so depressed. A friend of mine. He was diagnosed with a brain tumor. And he couldn't take it. The stress, he couldn't tell anyone, not even me. And he ended up curing himself through rather drastic means. But to be honest with you, it worked out. It may have been a coincidence that him pulling the trigger in such a way was precisely his cure. He had no damage either. It was perfect, as if fate had smiled upon him, and it inspired me that I should save people before they have to try and save themselves. That I should perform a surgery that has a much higher chance of success. People just misunderstand me. I'm not doing this to try and kill. I'm doing this to save people. Where heroes just ignore it. They save them from external problems. I save them from internal ones. Surely you can see, this is not fake passion in my eyes. This isn't even fake drive or any of the sort. I'm not a greedy person. I don't even do this for money. I take the money as a tool, something to better hone my skills, something to better save this world of ours that's sick and dying, with the sickness that builds every single day. I want to cure them all one at a time, and save them from the deepest villainous cycle of sickness, of death, of pain and suffering. That's why I came here and risked it all. Because I thought you deserved a doctor's consultation. To be understanding. And I knew when I saw your eyes, you could see me like others couldn't. Surely you don't just see me as a psychopath, as someone who isn't worth your time. No, surely you see me as someone who's working towards a goal. Even if you disagree with my methods, I'm sure you can see the fruit in my labor. Do you know what would have happened to you? I can tell you if you want. You are a conviction to me. Someone who deserved better. Someone who deserved the world. But I couldn't do it any other way. You were going to get beyond that brain problem, even if you had beaten it. Even if there was some kind of recovery the heroes could have made. There's one other thing that I had to tackle. It was another one. Much, much worse. It was a disease I've never seen before. One that would take you down a path much darker than mine. Something that I could only delay. I couldn't cure. And I'm sorry to say that. In order to reach your cure, you'll certainly have to work with me. Because a doctor will say they can't detect anything, but my foreshadowing, my sight into the depths of sickness, the depths of suffering, have given me a unique take on it. So I hope you'll trust me. Oh, I do find you so endearing. That look of conflict in your eyes, like you can't decide whether you love me or hate me. It entices me. It makes me feel like I've done something right in the world. You're not sick. Not in my eyes. You may be suffering, but I see you as an equal. As someone with hope. Someone who truly deserves a future. Free of illness and suffering. And one who I sincerely hope to deliver precisely that. No, of course not. Despite how I may seem, I'm certainly not someone who likes hurting others. In fact, I dread it. I do only what I do because I've seen what happens when I don't act. I save people from their own fate because fate can be a mighty cruel mistress. Hold that thought. Someone's coming. No, don't worry about it. I won't hurt them, you can be assured. Ah, yes. No, everything's fine. The nurse is just out for now. I'm the new nurse's assistant. Nice to meet you.
I wasn't made aware of this. Can you prove who you are?
While I can't quite give you definitive proof, as I don't really have much on me. It's my first day, after all. I do have somebody who could vouch for me. Isn't that right? A student who I've helped a bit today.
Is what he's saying true? I'll just go talk to the...
It pains me to say this, but I had to cure her. She may just be an innocent student here at a school for heroes. But we couldn't have her finding out our secrets, could we? Well, don't feel too bad. Maybe, just maybe, she'll make a full recovery. Now you're gonna follow me. And we're going to get out of here. And if you try and resist me, unfortunately, I need to accomplish my goals, and I'll have to take you down. It won't be pretty, and unfortunately it may mean the end of my term as a doctor. But I can't let you go. There's too many sick people that need me. So, are you going to cooperate with me? I want you to swear on it. Swear to me that you'll follow me out. It's all right. I'm not trying to keep you as some kind of a slave. In fact, I wouldn't dream on it. You're just like me. You can see the sick people of the world. You can find their cure with me. That way, when the world is at its worst, we'll find a way to make it better. Where heroes fail and heroes take care of things on the surface. We cure them at their core. I'm passionate because I believe in it. I believe as much in you as in my conviction. That should say something. I'm a passionate man. And I don't want you to follow me unless you can understand my words, unless you believe in them. Even with the case of this student here, I only did what I had to avoid us being ended. And besides, I could have done a lot worse. I held back. It's not like I killed. Not this time. And would you really consider what I do to be killing? I don't think it is. It's just a form of mercy. That's what I give people. I don't give unsullied salvation. I don't give unpromised results. I give them the nitty-gritty that they need in order to be cured. If you didn't know you were sick, and you knew the plague would someday kill you, wouldn't you rather have the cure that could take your life now, instead of withering over time, not knowing what's going wrong? Not being able to see things. People want to believe it's so easy. That's the fault of humanity, of society as a whole. They want to do things in an orderly manner. They're afraid to advance science, medicine, technology. Because they're afraid to test things in new ways. They're afraid to take the bold step into the unknown. I'm not afraid. I'll never be. Because frankly, fear is stagnation. And stagnation puts an end to art. And no art means no life. I am as much an artist as I am a creator, as I am a doctor, as I am a humanist. Every last moment of my practice, from now, from the past, from forever forward until I die, will be done for those who are sick and in need of a cure, to combat the plague that nobody can even see. I see it. I can see the faults because I understand how things work. My quirk has me working blind, but I can tell. I can see it. It's like an aura, and by that aura I can tell generally what's wrong. But unfortunately, it's not perfect. I don't have a perfect solution, but maybe with your quirk, we can be a proper team and cure people for real, more than risk their lives. I don't want the mortality rate to be high. Maybe some I've been sadistic to, some I've done impulsively and in my youth. But now, I've grown as a physician to understand my purpose in the world, to cure people as best I can, to let them live their lives and be someone who functions whether society agrees with me or not. Sometimes it takes a villain to show the world where they're wrong. In history, many great names were viewed as villains, but they had a purpose, even if they didn't see it through properly. I won't just be written down as a psychopath. I will keep honing my dreams, my goals forever, and change this world for eternity. I can take away sickness, one frail body at a time, and perhaps even design something, some combination of our powers that can have us truly cure the masses, open a clinic, something we can make the world better and not force upon people. I admit, I do view it as a mercy, my quelling of the plague, because oftentimes, unbeknownst of people who are already sick, it can be contagious. So if I see someone uncured next to one that is pure, lacking that, I try and operate before it spreads. I try and end it before it's begun. Not because I hate them. Everyone seems to misunderstand that. They seem to think I hate people, or that I resent those who have the plague. No. Just because you're sick, it makes me sad. Because many loved ones to me, back when I was still a hero, back when I was trying to ignore the sickness and believe in the rhetoric that so many others do, I saw so many painful memories. Ones that I couldn't help but change my outlook a little more aggressively, because I didn't want to see others have to be me watching them wither. By the time I had tried to cure them, it had already taken root. There was barely anything left of them. By the time I got done, I knew I didn't want anyone else to suffer watching what I did or going through what they did. That's why I came to you. And of course, it's pretty obvious. You must know I'd have to kill you if you decline. That's not because I hate you, but because if I'm caught, if I'm not allowed to do this, the entire world suffers. So it would be a sacrifice that hurts me, but one I'd have to do so I can continue to cure and quell, to combat the disease of sickness and death, of suffering and withering, and so many things. I want you to see me for what I am, a necessary evil if you must, but something that is necessary in this world, that must happen. And I think if you truly care about people, Hero, there's only one way to do it. You, being my assistant, can help me more accurately know, with your deciphering, what truly ails them. The more of a grasp we understand, the more we can work together to ensure that massacres don't happen. That the cure is real, and you know it is. You can trust me, as I have no intention of lying to you. I believe in you, and I hope you believe in me. No, of course. Come along. Why don't we get out of here before things get any more complicated? Once someone finds what happened, it'll get ugly real quick. This way. Walk beside me casually. If you do that, then this'll go perfectly. If someone stops us, let me do the talking. Okay? Good. Also, welcome aboard, assistant. I knew you could see things my way. Of course, nothing I do I plan to go unrewarded. You'll have the honor of seeing people ridden of sickness, cleansed of the plague, and happier than ever. Right this way. And the damn dumbass had the nerve to talk to me that way. I nearly floored him. Like, why would you... Never mind. Bakugo, you really got into that one, didn't you? That argument. Hey, wait a second. There. Hey, who are you? I've never seen you before. Yeah, now that you mention it. What are you doing here? Sorry, I'm the new nurse here. The assistant. I was here just rendezvousing with my little sibling right here. Nah? Is that true? Spill the beans. I don't trust it. Don't worry so much, Bakugo. As if somebody could actually sneak into UA. Plus, even if they did, what are they gonna do? You both are pretty funny. I just thought I'd show my sibling home, 'cause we don't get to spend much time together anymore. It's actually that I got this job in the first place, to help out my sibling. To give them someone they could come to and visit, so we could catch up on all the other things that we do. We used to be really close, you see. Yeah. Give me that sob story later. You two just get a move on then. Hey, wait, Bakugo. Are you sure about this? I don't know, my gut tells me something. Dumbass, don't waste time. You said it yourself. No one can infiltrate UA like that. They'd be an idiot to do so. Yeah, I guess you're right. Well, take care, you two. See, was that so hard? And we're already out the gates. Now you understand, don't you? I try and avoid needless death. I don't want to kill people. I just want them to live without having to fear such a horrible death. What more can a doctor hope for than the wellness of a patient? What more can a humanist wish for than a lovely future? What more can the poor wish for but a future secure? I want to solve these problems. And surely, with your help, I can. It's been a pleasure meeting you, partner. And I'm sure you'll see things my way in time, if you don't already. I realize I haven't given you a lot of choice so far, so how about this? If for some reason you don't see the conviction in my eyes, in my work, the passion I have for humanity's future, then I'll give you the nail to my coffin. I'll give you the opportunity at some point to end me. But there's something about you that strikes my heart chords more than just an assistant. I want to believe you're more than that. That you have a passion just like me. That you believe in the future. That you believe in what I'm doing for the sake of everyone. And I hope that you come to me willingly and know that if a day comes that you mean more to me than my passion, I will lay my head low and you can kill me. Because I believe I can trust the future to you. If I lose my path, you can be my accountability. You can be the one that cures me where no other could hope to. That's my hope, my dream, and my goal. Everything I am as a man, as a villain if you wish, but more as a hero, as a doctor. I hope you'll understand. The imbeciles of the world that doubt me, I'll prove each and every one of them wrong. Now, later, it doesn't matter when. What I seek is truth. And I know you're not a liar. It's kind of funny. My powers, they tell me just a bit more than people give credit. And I can generally tell a liar when I'm curing them. Someone that is sullied by the fake world around us. And you know what the grandiose part of it is? I can cure liars. I can't make them perfect. But it's endearing to see someone who doesn't need such a cure, who doesn't require my practices like that. Also, we're here. I hope you don't mind. It's not the most quaint of places, as it's a work in progress. But welcome to my clinic. Oh, don't mind her. She's my adopted child. I saved her from an aggressive tumor, and she helps me. She, like you, is an important assistant to me. I hope that you two will get along. And don't even think of anything bad, or I really will kill you. That's not even because I hate you, but it's because if you dare to harm my daughter in any way, my instincts, my pure feelings, they would come out in a very ugly way. And I hope someday she can look up to you too. I'm trying to get her to understand and to have a future. I saved her when everyone else gave up. And she's a piece of my heart. I wouldn't have invited you here if I didn't believe in you. She doesn't talk much, but is very, very kind. Isn't that right? And that's why it's so refreshing to see a new face here. That way we can be kind of like a family, trying to help those in need. Did you know? The heroes would never tell you this, most likely. But I've never turned down someone who needed help. I've always tried my best, and I don't even charge my patients. It's a humble place, and there's been so many cured. So many that had taken great risk in order to try and get cured. And they have. And I will fight to try and make it real. Because I don't believe this world is without saving. And too many times I've seen medicine be charged for money. Where in the Hippocratic Oath does it say you charge someone in need and turn them down at your door? I hate that about medicine, and I hate that society accepts it. I don't care if the costs are directly from the government. I don't care if you have sleepless nights. As a doctor, it's your job to see it to the end. Your patient is like your child. Someone who you want to see succeed. Someone who you want to see get better. You don't want them to suffer. And I've poured my passion into this, where I once, years ago, I admittedly was greedy, using my cure aggressively. But I've since understood the world, and I understand now that it's not about that. I used to be obsessed with money. Do you know what changed me? Seeing her suffering. Seeing her and a band of orphans on the street, with nothing but the clothes on their back and starving, rumbling tummies. And I saw such sickness in them. I wanted to make them better, give them a place. And at once, I felt like my heart was fixed. It was cured. Cured from villainy to a passion to curing. I always had it, but I never had it like this. I never understood what love was until I saw her eyes, and the eyes of those I managed to cure and save. My power, it works much better on those that are younger. The chance of mortality is much less, contrary to most medicine. I strive to take care of the orphans around here. I've used my riches, my payout of so many dirty jobs I've done, to make them an orphanage. And I take it as seriously as I take my conviction to save humanity. So I hope sincerely that you can see in my eyes I am no one's fake. And that this child here cured me in a way I never thought I could. And I hope you understand why I'm so serious, why I would have killed you. Because if things get linked back to me ever again, then I don't know what would happen to them. It pains my heart to think that any one of them would suffer. It hurts me. I'm not just some cold doctor now. I'm not just someone who wants to cure whether they want it or not. But sometimes you have to. Sometimes my heart gets the better of me. I'll act beyond what someone asks for because I don't want them to end up like my family did. It's a long and a silly story. But despite what it may look like, my father, he was a doctor, and ironically, so was my mother. They taught me, and I was basically growing up in a hospital. I would learn, watch, study them. And when my quirk was discovered to be what it is, an overhaul, a change, an upgrade, I had so much hope. I wanted to be just like them. But then I started seeing it. Passion left their eyes. It was the saddest thing. I'd see them give up, and I knew they weren't really trying. It hurts my very soul to see someone suffer like that. I want people to be able to thrive, to feel healthy, happy, and have a place in this world. But I learned the sad way of watching. And not everyone feels that way. Not everyone who takes the oath has the conviction I do. They go at it half-heartedly, in ways I can't justify. And before long, it overwhelmed me. I tried to help. I really did. And yes, I failed. It hurt me to see those people suffering. No, it's okay, honey. Go into the other room. Daddy will be there soon. I'll make sure to play with you. We can even play house, okay? If you're a good girl, I'll make your favorite too. All right, deal. Pardon, it's just I don't want her hearing the sad parts and seeing me like this. Maybe I look weak. Maybe I look pathetic to you. Maybe I look like someone who's deluded or disillusioned in the world. But you know what? I can't help it. I've never been able to, because I have a belief that people deserve better. And I can't even do it on my own. I can try. But do you realize how much it hurts to fail people? To cure them and see them as limp, lifeless vessels? I bear the weight of my sins. They are my own. They're sins that I plan to face my entire life. And sometimes it gets too heavy. I don't want to be a villain. I don't want to cure people and have them die. So it's a mercy killing at times. Back then, when I was trying to help my parents, the look on their face, they thought I was some kind of psychopath. I tried to explain, but they didn't give me a chance. They tried to lock me up in my own home, barely even treating me like an animal. Before long, I got fed up, them calling me a monster. And I escaped. And I would tell them I did it because I wanted them to be cured. I'm trying to get rid of the plague. And you know what they told me? That I'm a murderer. I already knew that I had taken a life, but not a life I ever intended to. It messed me up real bad. I felt as though no matter what I did, no matter what anyone viewed as right or wrong, I was nothing but a killer to them. And then I saw it. I saw it form. Their stress, their hatred welling up. And at some point, they snapped. My father tried to kill me. And my mother, she just watched, like a sheep, with a sad little look of fake tears, crocodile tears. And as I lay there choking, I thought about it. Is the world really a better place without me? Is it really bad for me to exist? For me to try and help people? And I realized I couldn't stay. As much as I loved my parents, I couldn't let them kill me. Part of me felt so incredibly guilty when I took my father's life on accident. Me being a child, only 6 years old. I didn't know what would happen, and I reversed the blood flow in his body, thinking it would stun him or something. Instead, it killed him on the spot. I felt so horrible. I didn't know what I did. It was actually a cartoon that gave me the idea. Something where that happened to a hero and they survived. So why didn't he? Why didn't he? My understanding of the body was so incomplete, so flawed that I couldn't have known. Was I a terrible person for wanting to live? I still haven't faced that demon of mine. That pain welling up in my heart. It's terrible. It hurts, and it's agony. And you know what? What didn't help is when I apologized. I tried to make it right. My mother, she did the same thing, grabbing a knife, telling me to get back. She called the police on me. And I had to run away. Run away from something, a scene I never wanted to happen. I was a villain, vigilante, whatever they wanted to call me. A troubled child who would murder 2 people. One in the hospital, and my own father. Do you know what it does to your heart? When you feel that you've made someone stop working. Especially your own father, who, as much as you are disappointed in seeing him lack the passion, he was still your dad. As much as his horribly abusive things hurt my heart, I loved him. I loved my mother too. But there I was, on my own. I had to find some way to hide, because the heroes and the cops were trying to get me. One time, I almost turned myself in, out of guilt. But do you know why I didn't? Because they said, 2 cops that I heard talking, said they would kill me. Said that I was too dangerous to apprehend. What kind of a hero? What kind of a police officer is that? They would shoot me on the spot, kill me like I'm some kind of animal. And I saw the plague in them too. The agony that I couldn't prevent. I couldn't feel pity for them. I took a very harsh take on reality. And sometimes another side of me comes out. My demons. That formed during that time. Some call it dissociative identity disorder. Some of them call it childhood trauma. But I call it the plague that I still can't cure. One of my biggest goals is to get rid of it, because I can't keep blacking out and letting that side, that hateful side that everyone in the media knows as the villain, Overhaul. I can't let him harm this child. I can't let that demon inside of me that resents all the abuse, my protector, my unwilling other side, to own me. The one that will cure so harshly, that will make the world his plaything. That's not who I want to be. And that's why I want your help, as well as your promise. If you feel that I am worth living, if I have a right to try and help people, then please promise me, if he ever consumes me, that you will put him down, even if it means saying goodbye to me. Your quirk, it's something that I think is a perfect counter to mine. That is another reason why I searched. Why sometimes when he took over, you may have seen him, he still tries to cure people, but his is more violent. I was surprised because I can see things through his eyes sometimes. I was surprised and intrigued, and so was he. He likes you too. He finds you to be someone he wants by his side. Maybe even the devil inside me has a heart, and I'm hoping you can make sense of it. That you can calm the beast so I can pursue true medical advances. So that I can be a hero for once in my life. Instead of someone who's feared and hated, as cruel, as sadistic, as ruining. You've met him already. He's been in that room. Sometimes it switches without me even knowing. It's kind of like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. We switch between the two so often. Yet, I'm afraid of what will happen if I don't have someone who can reliably keep him in check, or at least take his passion and help inspire him to make it into something more like my own dreams. He's still in that moment of my father choking me. He came out that time. He was born of it. Please don't hate him. He's just a hurting child who sympathizes with children, you know. Deep down, he just is afraid of the world. Of being viewed as a monster. It's that spiteful feeling. He feels hopeless. I may not know his thoughts exactly, but I can sense it, the feeling in my heart when he takes over. The memories that flash. The agony that happens. You may be the only one in this entire world who can get through to him, because he can't get you, nor would he want to. I think you're like a hope to him too. Something of a mesmerizing dream. Maybe like a parent, or a child, or a sibling. I can't tell. But to me, I see hope in your eyes. When you saw me with the child, it's like you opened up. All that apprehension, and you saw something that you believe in. Something you could tangibly say defines me as something more than a psychopath. That's what I want you to see in me. Something more. I want you to keep me accountable so that whatever side comes up, I'm no longer bound. I'm no longer in fear of what might happen to these children, to my daughter, and to you. Perhaps it's too early. I've only just met you earlier in this day, but I feel a strong bond, a kindred spirit with you. And I want you to see that I'm not a psychopath, that I'm not someone pursuing some selfish goal, that I want to cure people for real and be the hero that could never save me. What do you say? Have my words meant something to you? Pardon me. It's just so overwhelming. I can feel him, even the demon, swelling up in tears. Seeing an angel like you. My angel. I think I'll call you that. If it doesn't bother you, that is. So, my angel, won't you join me for a small tour of this humble clinic the one that seeks to change the world. Thank you. Thank you so much. I can't tell you how overwhelming the feelings are that I was so nervous that I'd have to choose between an innocent life again and protecting these children because they have nothing left. I don't want my daughter to grow up without a father. She's already had to grow up without a mother. She's already had to feel the sadness of being alone in the world, just like me. Perhaps that's why I very much love children and want them to have a childhood unlike mine. Someone who cares about them. And if nothing else, if you truly don't believe in me, will you at least promise me you won't tell anyone of this location of me? I've already had to rearrange my face in order to protect them. I've had to rearrange so many painful things. I just want them to have a chance, and for my dream of saving people, as a true doctor should, as a true parent should. I want my dream to have a chance in this world. My angel, won't you consider working at this clinic, at this orphanage, and be someone, if not to me, then to these children? They lack outside approval or experiences, and someone from UA is like a hero to them. You're like a celebrity, and if nothing else, could you drop by from time to time and be a hero to them? Because I know they don't like to say it, but sometimes they see my other side. And while it's kind, it's harsh. Brutal even. So perhaps if we work together, we can get through to him. Get through to that demon and make him into something more. Have him face the past and be someone that can believe in you and I. Maybe we can cure the plague I never could, that resides right here in my heart. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart, listening to me. And perhaps I've gotten a bit soft around you, because that glisten in your eye, that makes me feel like I can trust you. It makes me want to put everything at risk just to give you a chance to make the choice of your own volition. It's okay. You can go. But if you happen to think about it and you find that your passion lies anywhere near my dream, then please come back. Come back and try and be an angel. I know that you can do it. And I know if it means something to you, it can mean something to others too. You can get through to others and be someone to the world, a hero beyond those that just see the surface, that can cure people down to their souls. I believe in you, my angel. I'm so happy just seeing you smile seeing you have hope and not despair. And I want to give you even more, because I see a child's heart in your eyes. Someone who, no matter what age, truly understands the innocence of the world, the meaning behind preserving and curing people down to their heart. So thank you for nothing else, for hearing me out. And if anything happens to me, please promise me you'll take care of them. Okay? Take care of my daughter and the other children that are like my sons and daughters as well. Even if you give up on my dream, don't give up on them. Can you make that promise? I know it's selfish of me. I know I shouldn't be asking someone who I've just met, but do you mean that? Thank you. Pardon if this is an unwanted hug, but your pure heart, it makes me have hope in the world again, where I lost it so many times. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.